John Elias will play hooker this afternoon, filling in a fairly famous pair of hooking boots. The last man out, Andy Courier. The Balmain lineup, Jack at fullback, O'Brien, Brasher, Courier and Grant the three-quarters, Pobji at 5'8" and Neil at half, Pearce at lock and captain, Brooks and Parrish in the second row. Don't be surprised to see Parrish play in the lock forward position in the scrum. Ed Med, John Elias and McFarlane up front, and Warren Ryan as the coach. The referee for this afternoon's fixture, Bill Harrigan. It's cold this afternoon, but there's probably no better man to control the game as far as hamstring injuries are concerned. He's the fastest in the match. The game starts off with Canberra defending that southern end of the ground, and that's a knock-on, says the referee. Mistake. And this will put the pressure right on Canberra in the opening moment of the match.
Kevin Walters back at fullback, knocking the ball down. Got North Elkwood bouncing and came off his arm in the end.
Parrish is it, locking the scrum. This will be a penalty. It must go against Canberra. Lance got out of that scrum before acceptances. It's a differential. Jack kicking for touch. Neil. Pobji. Parrish at dummy half. Jack coming down the centre. He's lost the ball. He's spilled it. Stewart picks it up for Canberra.
Well, that was a golden chance for Balmain to apply plenty of pressure right on Canberra early on. And the penalty now going to Canberra. McNeil not getting away from the tackle, playing cleanly.
And this man's been a key player for Canberra this year, kicking vital field goals that really do turn matches around. Down to the sideline, conditions, John Beard.
Well, it's very cold down here, and also a very strong northwest wind, which is aiding Balmain at the moment. But now I know how Munson feels. It's that cold, but I think it'll be very hot out in the centre, that's for sure, for this very crucial match.
Canberra with the ball. Through Lance. Stewart has kicked field goals in 4 matches this year, 2 of them last week against North Sydney.
And there's one man I think will be a key today. Steve Walters, the hooker for Canberra. He has a very important role. Balmain, of course, have John Elias playing hooker. Benny Elias is out injured. John Elias, a man who's played with about 6 or 7 different clubs in his career and filling in at hooker today for Balmain. He has a very big role, not only around the rucks, but also as a hooker. The scrummaging must be effective.
Here comes McNeil. This is a chance for a Balmain try. McNeil charges down the kick and scores. Balmain 4, Canberra 0.
Well, that's the way to score early points if you can get them. A really easy try there to Balmain from the charge down. Charge down is not a knock-on, and McNeil taking full advantage. Laurie Daly there for the kick, and it was charged down by McNeil, rebounding a long distance away in the air, and he beat them all to the ball by a mile.
Let's have another look at this kick now. Was it McNeil, or did he kick it into his own player?
Well, actually, that was what occurred to me. I think you're right, David. Yeah, I was wondering whether it travelled in McNeil's hand, and you're right, off a Canberra player, so just rebounding off his back, the easiest of tries to McNeil.
So Michael Neal, his 3rd try this season. 1 last week against Cronulla, another today. There it is, high and straight over the dot. Balmain leading Canberra by 6 points to 0.
Yes, well, here we have Ricky Stewart's out of the action. He's playing the ball. Rucks go by, and Laurie Daly kicks. It comes off, looked like Ashley Gilbert. And McNeil, of course, always on the spot.
Gary Jack, he got that pass to O'Brien. O'Brien's done well. Up to the halfway he goes. Good run from O'Brien. He's still going. What a good bit of football that was. Started by Gary Jack.
And some missed tackles too.
Ominous sign perhaps for Canberra early on, but that was a good tackle. Lance on McFarlane. Parrish. Edmed. That time it was O'Sullivan in the headgear who effected the tackle, along with Lazarus. Parrish. Pobji away to Jack. Pobji's into dummy half. Jack, that pass wasn't intended for anyone, but Neil did well. Parrish, this is Pearce. Now, what can James Grant do? He's got a heap of pace. He's got around Ferguson, but Ferguson's done well to come from behind to grab him. Good football from both of them. Good skills there. Now, here's a chance. Courier. He's got it back there to Brooks. It's gone loose. It was a knock-on. It wasn't that good to see a winger getting around his man, but the experience of Ferguson. There's the knock-on.
A little bit of confusion as the Tigers pushed the pass. There was a great duel between the wingers. Grant on the fly, and of course Ferguson in defence really caught flat-footed. Nothing much he could do, and Grant got outside him, showed the pace that he has. Then Ferguson took off, and first of all latched onto him with one arm, and then pulled himself to him and put him on the ground.
And used the sideline a bit too. It was a good duel between two wingers. Knock on there. One-handed force pass, but you notice McFarlane knocked it on as he almost had it. Otherwise, they could have been under more pressure here, Canberra.
Mentioning the scrummaging a little while ago, it's very interesting because we've got Craig Diamond in the front row for Canberra today. He usually plays in the second row. And then, of course, as I mentioned, John Elias hooking for Balmain, and Gary McFarlane, the former West player, getting his chance in first grade today in the front row for the Tigers. A little bit of inexperience there.
Is there any other former West players out there just so we can get out of the system?
Not that I recall, no.
And earlier today, this brilliant Canberra President's Cup side, 42 points to 4, outstanding performance, and they are really the team to beat. And reserve grade, a good tussle. Canberra getting away with the points, 12 points to 10. Obstruction, the ruling there. In fact, he's ruled a forward pass, a deliberate forward pass. I thought he ran behind the man in front of him for a second.
Canberra forced into that error by the Balmain defence. You can see there Stewart looking to get a kick away, found Diamond in front of him. And was that what the referee actually pinged them for in the end? It was.
The Courier just outside the quarter line, 10 metres in from the eastern touchline. This man really can kick the ball accurately and a long way. Has he got his kicking boots on today? There it is. It's struck pretty well. It's high, and it's there. 2 more points to Balmain. And the Tigers skip away after 10 minutes play to lead by 8 points to 0. Benny Elias, broken thumb, sitting on the sidelines and wants to send a cheerio call to all his friends at Sylvester's at Charm Haven watching this afternoon. These two teams have both got heaps of speed out wide, so they'll enjoy the open space. The referee consistently keeps them that far apart.
Neither team managing to control the ball all that well as yet.
Cold weather.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, even in this kind of weather, particularly out on the wing or the centres there, hands can get a little cold.
McFarlane better away to Jack. Gary Jack's got a heap of pace. He's down to the quarter line. He looked inside, there was no one there. Oh, that was a good ankle tap. He almost ran out of room. If he'd gone the other way, he had plenty of support in McNeil. They still might score if they swing it quickly. Matt Parrish floats it across here. This is Grant. Good defence there from Daly. Parrish. The long pass finds Neil. Hobji. Courier thinking about the field goal. He still gets a chance. It's not a good kick. The ball bouncing in that in-goal area. Oh, he's knocked it over the dead ball line, Chris Kinner. And play will restart with the line dropout.
Very bad mistake from Kinner there. He may well have been trapped in goal anyway, but to force a goal line dropout from what was really a simple take. There's the kick from Courier right across the face of the post. And Kinner, not really under a great deal of pressure, took his eye off the ball.
The line dropout. Not a deep one. McNeil. Here's Grant. Parrish taking over most of the dummy half roll so far today with Benny Elias on the bench. Gifted player is Matt Parrish. Steve Edmed. This is John Elias. Parrish. Remember, he represented in rugby union as a 3-quarter. Jack. Brooks. Out wide it comes to Courier. Courier will score. Courier skirts around the defence and puts it down. And Balmain have raced away to lead by 12 points to 0.
Well, this could be the fault of the selection of Tim Sheens, because the man who's missed the tackle is Steve Jackson. He usually plays prop forward. Today he's been picked in the centre, filling in for Ivan Henjak. Good work by Balmain. They realise there's a little bit of space out there. Good ball from David Brooks here, but Courier on the outside of Jackson, who tries to chase after him, just caught out of position, didn't have the pace to go with Courier, who kicks over the line with ease. But you'll notice here, the gap was there. Brooks knew it. He went across field. Jackson had been sucked in. He didn't stay outside with his man, and really Courier is a very fast man.
Andy Courier hasn't been in the country all that long, already 34 points up. We saw his first try. That was that brilliant effort against St George when they lost. And he's turned into a pretty handy goal kicker for the Tigers as well. Andy Courier from just outside the quarter line to try and convert his own try, but it's wide.
Kick up successful. The try is for Balmain, scored by number 4, Andy Courier.
Yes, here is a little bit of confusion behind the line. Brooksy gets the ball, heads out to the left. Coyne far too slow to go to him. That brought Jackson in, and he's an old forward, and he's too slow, and Courier just strolls over for the try.
Neil. Brasher had trouble playing it, but he got away with it. Pierce. The Balmain quarter line. Farland. Not a good pass, but Courier's cleaned it up pretty well. Courier. And again, it has to be Ricky Stewart in the last line of defence. Edmed. Twice we've seen Ricky Stewart, and they're promising moves, individuals admittedly, Grant and Courier in the butt. Now the kicker's charged down, the referee says 6 to go, and Courier's got it up over the halfway. The pass to Grant was a shocker, and it's been intercepted by Daly. But he didn't look where he was throwing the pass.
A very poor pass, and I wonder if Courier realised that the referee had given them 6 more tackles. He may not have had time to see the referee signalling that, because really this pass was a lot of pretty much a speculator, and Daly always in a good position to intercept.
He mightn't understand Australian yet, mate. Penalty against Balmain up inside the 5. This is within kicking distance.
Gary McFarlane, one of the offenders. Quite a few players moving up in front of the line. There's the referee back marking what is more than 10 metres.
Daly, his first shot at goal for the afternoon. It's there, 2 points for the Canberra Raiders. And so Balmain lead Canberra by 12 points to 2. Ready to restart play. Grubber. Kinner. Good tackle. Brooks, also Parrish. Little knock on a dummy half. And Steve Walters wanting to go on with something there with David Brooks.
Steve Walters probably frustrated with his own mistake. Canberra really aren't giving themselves a chance.
Balmain again with a chance to apply pressure, but they've won it against the feed, but the referee wants it to go in again.
On the left-hand side of the field, remember this scrum is packed almost in front of the post. There are only the wingers. Huge gap for Balmain to attack.
And this is exactly what they're doing. This is Gary Jack. The pass comes to O'Brien, but that was great play from Stewart. He read that to perfection to cut Gary Jack out of the play. Giving winger Kinner a chance on O'Brien. Neil. McFarlane. Parrish a dummy half. Neil. Edmed. He got the pass away, but Pearce has gone without it. Kevin Waller's in a bit of space. Over the quarter line. Nick Neal comes at him. He's missed him. He's got Ferguson in support, but what a great ball and all tackle from James Grant. Daly. O'Sullivan. Stewart. Coyne out amongst the centres. One player tackled on suspicion. It'll be a penalty against Balmain for being inside the 5. Jackson has hit the deck there. The referee listening to the touch judge. Jackson was tackled on suspicion because Coyne threw the dummy. Here's Coyne now. You'll watch this.
Matt Parrish it was, taking Jackson out. I think
this reflects a little bit what's happening on the scoreboard. Ricky Stewart, the halfback, is leading the tackle count for Canberra. Got to do most of their work for them so far. O'Sullivan. This is Jackson. Now, for a man that was allegedly pretty groggy a few moments ago, he's recovered remarkably well with the sip of water. Coyne. This is Diamond.
Also noticeable that after the touch judge made his report, the referee didn't seem too concerned about the tackle. Just a quick word to Parrish to keep it down.
I think he saw it, to be honest. Stewart. O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan is very much the will of the wisp. Been here since day one, the Raiders. Lazarus. O'Sullivan's pass went to Stephen Walters in the end, who knocked it on. He wasn't expecting it. Don't think you can blame Steve Walters for that one.
Still, he wouldn't be happy with himself. Of course, there was some talk that Steve Walters would press Kerrod Walters for the Queensland hooker job, and in fact he did. Here it is. Walters just didn't expect it. Couldn't hang on.
Barnum looks as if he's off.
Yes, a replacement in the Balmain side. Gary McFarlane's off and 45, Paul Clark's on. Paul's had quite a bit of first-grade experience.
And as a fresh reserve. Scrum goes down with Gary McFarlane leaving the field, and the fresh reserve Paul Clark coming on for Balmain, wearing Guernsey 45. Neil, Courier.
Could be an important point by the end of the match. Canberra haven't named any fresh reserves, unlike Balmain.
And here's Clark taking it up. And that's the best 3 tackles we've seen in the game from Canberra so far. Blindside, Drew Pearce. Great tackle from Daly. Super tackle. I think he's knocked one of his own mates out of the road as well, but wasn't that commitment plus?
That kind of tackling can turn the fortunes of the game right around.
Steve Walters it is, he's hooker.
Big tackle here from Laurie Daly. Look at the way he powers into Wayne Pearce, who was coming at the rate of knots, shoulder and driving him into the ground. Walters over the top.
You notice there that Walters wasn't hit by his own man. The jolting tackle from Daly, and Pearce's head made contact with the left eye of Steve Walters.
Canberra making more errors than Balmain, mainly handling problems for them. A few missed tackles as well. In fact, 12 missed tackles in all.
Courier, back the other side of the ruck. Now here's Brasher. Brasher's got a heap of pace. Brasher's got a heap of ability too, the youngster. Just outside the quarter line, Elias to Brooks. On the quarter line. Parrish, Neil, Hodgie to Edmed. Edmed standing, but can't get that pass away. Had his arm free. Parrish the dummy half again. This is Clark. Clark going through some papers in defence. Last tackle against Balmain.
Ricky Stewart missing that time.
He's done enough of the other stuff. He's entitled to miss one occasionally. Jack away to O'Brien. O'Brien's running down the touchline. O'Brien will score. O'Brien's in. What a try. Great individual football from Steve O'Brien, and that might be the nail in the coffin. 16-2.
Absolutely, David. It was very important that the Raiders hang on at this point of the match, and instead Balmain have skipped away to a great lead, but some terrible defence here. Good work by Balmain. Give them credit for moving the ball nicely. A little bit of hesitation in the defence there, but first of all, Kinner misses, then Diamond misses, and then Ricky Stewart across in cover can't stop Steve O'Brien, who stepped and ran very well, but there's no doubt that Kinner should have been stopped. Notice the inside pass there, just to cause a bit of indecision in the defence. Kinner brushed off there by O'Brien. Diamond misses, and Ricky Stewart couldn't stop him from that point. Did he get the ball down safely? Yes.
So his second try of the year, Steve O'Brien, but my word, it was a good effort. Not much room to move in, and he put the 4-pointer on the board that might put them into the top 3. Andy Courier right out on that touchline. Taken it about back 4 metres outside the quarter line. It's high, the touch judge is getting underneath it, but wave it away. And so the score remains Balmain 16, Canberra 2.
Canberra have got a few problems at the moment. Even if you look back at the last couple of weeks, they haven't been convincing. They lost to West, then they won against North, but they were down 5-0 at half-time. Here's a chance.
Here's a chance for them. This is Jackson. 10 metres out from Balmain's line. Now, can they convert the Balmain mistake into points? Stewart, the dummy. This is Lazarus. 11 metres out from Balmain's line. Walters, Stephen, the dummy half. Stewart, no passage through there. Elias and Brooks. The penalty against Elias. Now, I didn't think there was anything wrong with that tackle, to be honest. He didn't really upend him, did he?
Well, the referee may have got him for the initial high tackle there, did he? The arm, swinging arm. Oh, no, there it is. It certainly was the spear tackle that he... And I suppose he's right. There was no need for Elias to lift him.
Daly moves in. The kick at goal is successful. So Canberra move just a little bit closer to Balmain, but the Tigers still way on top, leading by 16 points to 4.
So Warren Ryan's put a bit of work into his scrummaging during the week. He would have realised that with this new combination that he had to put a bit of practice in on the scrums.
It's a handover. We've got about 60-odd seconds left. This will be a oh. Well, some referees might have pinged him for not handing that ball over, and that could have been a very important penalty there.
Yes, you're right, David. Luckily for the Raiders, given the benefit of the doubt.
Gary Jack. Quick hand. I should say Podgy did well. Podgy's done real well. He's down to the fullback. He's got the pass away. It's gone loose, and O'Sullivan cleans it up into the in-goal area. Play to restart with a line dropout. But my word, if that had found a hand...
It's not the first good run by Podgy today. I'm not too sure if he meant to pick up that runner there. The pass was very hard for Parrish. Brasher.
So the players leaving the field. Gary Jack is certainly starting to find his form. So at half-time at the Seaford Oval in Queanbeyan, it's all Balmain. They lead by 16 points to 4. So there we are at half-time. It seems to be all Balmain leading by 16 points to 4. Let's have a quick look at those half-time statistics, and you'll see the scrums 5-4 to Balmain, the penalties favouring Canberra 5-2, the errors. Canberra have missed far too many tackles, and Balmain perhaps have had an even share of possession because Canberra have missed so many tackles. Let's rejoin the match in the second half. Grant on the run round. Almost a half trip there from Steve Walters. It wasn't. Cumberland-type throw. Edmed. Ball's loose. They've still got it, though. Last tackle against Balmain. Neil kicking again for that eastern touchline, and that's a great kick from Neil, and he found it. There wasn't much Ferguson or Walters could do about that. Pinpoint accuracy. Bang on the thrippers.
Mick Neal had absolutely no angle to work with here because Walters and Ferguson had dropped back. They were quite deep, but somehow he's managed to split it between the two of them.
There's the strength of that Balmain scrum again.
Balmain forwards really are matching Canberra and a lot more, considering that they are down in size today without the likes of Roach and Serena, particularly, also Maguire. They don't have the same bulk.
He wasn't watching the cricket all night, was he?
A few bags under your eyes too, David.
Oh, gee, I think I'll have some tomorrow. Let's hope it's a great night's play, though. Let's hope we get a great night's play. Now, here's Kevin Walters. He held up that pass well. Ferguson back on the inside. Ferguson. This is Johnny Ferguson. He's back. He slips the pass to Corkery. Back on the inside. Kevin Walters, is it? They're going to race away and score the try. Next to the post.
What a genius piece of football by Johnny Ferguson. When Matthew Corkery gave him the ball, they certainly were not in the clear, and he was going to have to do a lot with it, and he did it. Canberra moved the ball wide, flicking it out through the hands, trying to get on the edge. Walters sends the pass out. Finally from Lazarus, it goes out to Corkery, but at this point Corkery had plenty of defence around him. Ferguson suddenly cuts off his left foot, and then once he found himself in open spaces, went back outside to find the support. Corkery was there, plenty of backup on the inside there with Walters over for the try. But that was great football by Ferguson. First of all, he beat men to get into the open spaces. Sixth sense told him there wasn't support on the inside, but Corkery might be looming up on the outside on the touchline, and that's where he found him. Look at that step. Left them behind and back outside is Corkery, who made no mistake with a pass inside.
The kick from Daly is successful, and so Canberra right back in the ball game. Balmain 16, Canberra 10.
Johnny Ferguson just so deceptive. You sometimes wonder how he manages to beat the man, but he does it with ease.
Yes, well, Canberra desperately needed this try. Some good hands after a switch of play by Ricky Stewart. Then there's a bit of pace involved here with Fergo evading Grant. And again, he looms up with Matthew Corkery inside with good support plays. A couple of players there. Laurie Daly telling the fullback where to put the ball. And that's really got them into the game. They can see a bit of blue sky now, I'm sure.
Here he is bringing it back, Kevin Walters. Don't forget it was his lovely delayed pass that started the movement anyway. 16-10 Balmain lead. We've got a real ball game on our hands now. Balmain at one stage had led 16-2. Stewart kicking deep. Jack's there. Jack takes it well. Jack running it back. Corkery almost runs him across the touchline. Grant.
So far in this half, we've seen an improved effort from Canberra. If anything, Balmain have just been going through the motions a little. They've still been playing reasonably well, but they haven't really been asserting their dominance on the match. And Canberra hitting back now within 6 points. The Raiders have got the win, they've got the crowd, and they might well make a fist of this match.
Clark, 34 metres out from Canberra's line. Neal, Podgy, Courier trying to stand up the opposition. And in the end, run across the touchline by Corkery.
Fairly early in the tackle count, and Courier heading over the touchline. Some good defence, pushing him in that direction, but he realised that he was in trouble. The referee appears to be ruling the front row weren't packing in horizontally. Thought he may have got them for screwing the scrum around, but pointed to the front row and his indication that he wants that front row to bend their backs and come in horizontal.
Benny Elias there wouldn't be overly impressed with that at the moment. They're getting a caning in the penalties, and that one was a little bit mystifying.
Penalties now 8-2 in favour of Canberra.
Stewart looking for the hole. Closed pretty quickly. He's lost the ball. McNeil's got it. Podgy. Diamond the tackler. Brasher. Edmed. That's not a good pass. It's gone loose. Or did Daly touch it? Should it have been 6 to go? O'Brien. Last tackle against Balmain. McNeil's there. The kick. Again, looking for the space. Walters had a good bounce. Plenty of time for the chasers to get up. Away from Podgy, away from O'Brien. But McNeil who's left to do the tackling again.
Walters has run the ball back very well today. He's always beaten 1 or 2 men.
Daly out wide. He's got 2 fast men with him. This is Ferguson. Nowhere to go that time. On the quarter line, Corkery. Who'll ever forget that incredible try scored against East in the 87 final?
I've been disappointed with Matthew Corkery from that point. You wonder how such a good player could spend so much time in reserve grade since 1987.
Stewart, again, using this kicking game. O'Brien struggling to get back. He's got that big pad on the left thigh. Now here's Jack bringing it back. He's got O'Brien with him. Back on the inside. Here's Brasher. That was good football from Balmain. They've brought it back almost 50 metres. Clark. Carries from dummy half. First time I think we've seen him go from dummy half, and he pins 10 metres. Now Edmed. Carrish again. The referee seemed to get on his road for a second. Couldn't use him as an effective shepherd. Neil. Thought for a moment they might try the field goal from there. The kick from Neil's too long.
You could see Kevin Walters running across towards that ball, wondering whether to go for it or to hope that it would carry over the dead ball line. His arms started to come out. He pulled back and let it go. Did just what he wanted to. Dead in goal. Back to the 22 for a tap. So Balmain starting to creep up in the error count. Canberra still made far more.
Out wide it comes to Corkery. I think there's a weakness in defence on that side of the field, or it's just the fact that Corkery and Ferguson, that looked forward pass there to Lance. I wonder whether they just think that there's a weakness on that side, or the fact that Corkery and Ferguson with so much speed can find a hole or two out there. Certainly seem to be playing to that side of the field, Canberra.
Trying to remember whether Corkery usually plays left or right wing. If he plays left wing, it may have a natural tendency to link up with Johnny Ferguson, who's playing left wing in this half.
He does play left wing normally. Stewart, the kick along the ground. Gary Jack getting back for it. Won't go dead. Oh, he almost made a meal of it. And in the end, he has to just volleyball it over the dead ball line.
Gary Jack, nightmares of the third state of origin match. That ball bouncing awkwardly for him made it very difficult. Life is never easy for a fullback, particularly when you lose your footing like that. That would have put Gary's heart in his mouth. 50 still. Canberra starting to have opportunities to hit back. They're going to have 6 tackles here in a good attacking position.
There's a change in the Cronulla side. Craig Bellamy, number 26, will be going onto the field shortly. I'm not quite sure who he'll be replacing, but it's just a football coincidence at the moment. Balmain slackened off after a good lead, and Canberra have increased their momentum. So with the 6-point deficit, Canberra's really going on. Ashley Gilbert will be the man to be replaced.
Diamond with the ball. Back on the inside. Here's Kevin Walters. Except for that early blemish, he's had a very solid game. Steve Walters, dummy half, Coyne. Oh, he threw the dummy. He's gone straight through. He can't get around Gary Jack. What a good tackle.
And Gilbert was with him.
Ferguson from dummy half. Ferguson along the ground, and McNeil's got it. Penalty against Balmain. There was that penalty for a Balmain player knocking the ball out of another player's arms.
I've got to admit, David, I'm not too sure what the signal was. It appeared to be something as if the player hadn't marked up properly. But
the signal was that the ball was deliberately knocked out of the attacking player's hands.
Let's have another look at the penalty here. Here's Johnny Ferguson losing the ball backwards. 2 of them dive in for it. Well, I'm not sure what the referee has ruled there.
Daly to try and narrow the gap to just 4 points. It's high, it's straight, and it's a goal. Balmain leading Canberra by 16 points to 12.
There's a replacement in the Balmain side now, after that early replacement by Canberra. Steve Benkick, 16, going on for Steve Edbed.
YAG-118, that's YSI-222 and YAG-118, you're both illegally timed.
Courier restarts. Now, Balmain really giving Canberra plenty of opportunities to get back in the game. The penalty count, 9-2.
Warren Ryan won't be very happy with his players or the referee. I'm just wondering whether on that last penalty, the referee may have ruled that when the ball came out of Johnny Ferguson's hand, if a Balmain hand knocked the ball, and so Mick Mill would have been offside. Let's have another look. Well, there it is. Johnny Ferguson losing the ball back. Whether or not it came off Gary Jack's hand, difficult to tell, but I think he said Mick Mill was offside.
O'Brien it is who gets the good bounce, and O'Brien brings it back solidly again. Gee, he's had a good game, hasn't he? Neil, Brasher. A good tackle from Diamond.
Tell you what, David, with the score at 16-12, you look back to the very first try of the match, the charge down kick. It was a soft try to Mick Mill. That was worth 6 points.
Here's Pearce. He's really going to have to be inspirational if Balmain are going to hold on. They've got 16 minutes to go. Blindside, it comes away to Brooks. Brooks looking for a passage down the centre. It's there. 16-12 to score. Brooks very tired, though. He's got through 23 tackles so far. Last tackle against the Tigers. It's hoisted high. Kevin Waller's getting underneath it. Neil coming through quickly, and Neil grabs him and puts him onto the deck 11 metres out. Bellamy, I should say, Chris Kinner. Steve Edbed sitting on the bench after getting through 65 minutes of the match. Ricky Stewart. Daly kicking for touch. That's sailing over the touchline on the full.
Well, that's the chance for Balmain. They'll have to feed to this scrum. Wasn't a handover, not the last tackle.
Well, a completely disorganised scrum now for Balmain since Edbed's left the field. Brooks is in at prop. Parrish is in the second row, and Pogsy packed into that scrum at lock. Jack. Ooh. That was a Shepherd.
Yes, no doubt about it. One of those unfortunate incidents when a Shepherd occurs. They're rarely deliberate, but misunderstanding here as Gary Jack heads across field, charging through Brasher, going straight ahead and obstructing tacklers.
Penalties now 10-2 against Balmain.
Even if the tackler doesn't appear to have a direct obstruction, they often can just put them off. They're setting themselves for the tackle.
A good defence from the Tigers. Elias and Clark just inside Canberra's territory. This is Diamond, Parrish and Brooks this time. The two top tackling Tigers. In the back play, Lazarus gives Clark one to go on with. The touch judge is on. I tell you what, this will be a penalty against Canberra because Lazarus started this. That's why the touch judge has come on, because Canberra are in possession. This will be a Balmain penalty. Lazarus, Clark didn't want to go on with it. Lazarus gave him one. The touch judge came racing in.
The two of them held each other at arm's length for a good 5 or 6 seconds before they finally did go on with it. But here's where they first lock horns. At this point, they just had a few words with each other, cocked the fist, ready to let one fly. You can see a little bit of an elbow there from Lazarus' start of the incident. That's why Clark got his fist ready, but it was a good 5 or 6 seconds later than that.
They were jostling each other, and then Lazarus let one go, and that was the immediate time the touch judge came in. So unless I'm a monkey's uncle, I might still be, the touch judge, I think, has only come in because he's ruled that Lazarus was the offender. The penalty must go Balmain's way. Well, Diamond's gone to the sin bin. I don't know how he's gone on. Must have been another incident.
That's not the way I read it, unless he has sent Craig Diamond off for, or to the sin bin at least, for coming in late, because the two of them were just one-on-one, and then all of a sudden other players piled in. But maybe he's decided that Diamond really caused it to turn into a bit of an all-in.
Graham Roberts wants to know, our statistician, if I want some peanuts. Don't need to, mate. It had to be. The touch judge came in. The only time he'll come in if the attacking side has the ball, if it's a penalty to the defending side, he'll wait for a stoppage in play. The attacking side had the ball. He had to come in because he ruled that it was a penalty to Balmain.
Glenn Lazarus has really cost his team possession. Here's the initial incident.
This is the jostling. Now you'll see they stand there, look at each other, and then finally Lazarus. It's on again in the back plate. Now you notice that Clark is lying on the ground there. Now the original incident between Lazarus and Clark and Lazarus were talking to each other in a rather unfriendly nature, and then Lazarus just went bang. That's when the touch judge came in. Now,
this is what caused the second one. Here's Balmain in possession after the penalty.
Oh!
Clark popped a high one from Lazarus. Well, Lazarus...
He's got to go on. He's got to go for that, and he's off. He must get sent off for that. That's head high.
Front row forwards, get hot-headed. Lazarus went for revenge. He certainly was the one who's ended up on the wrong end of it. Foolish football, and that was a high tackle.
I feel very sorry for him because he's such a nice kid, and normally that is not his go, but obviously fired up by that previous incident. And, well, you had to have a look at it. The video said it all, didn't it?
And he could well cost his team any chance of getting back on top in this match. He's given away possession. Now he's given away a penalty.
And it's 13 on 11 now because Diamond is in the sin bin as well. Is that the turning point of the game? The first little fracas between Lazarus and Clark.
Let's have another look at the tackle from Lazarus on Clark. He comes in. He was looking for him. Clark may have stepped back inside, so caught him on the angle a little bit, but he was always looking for Clark.
That tells the story. It didn't miss. Andy Courier, 34 metres out. 15 to 20 metres in from the western touchline. The chance to stretch the margin to 6 points again. The kick from Courier. It's high, it's straight, and it's a goal. Balmain back in front by 6, leading 18-12. The Tiger is delirious, and he's now gone and slipped over as well.
And Balmain leads Canberra 18-12.
And what a good player Courier has turned out to be. He's been a good buy. Tiger supporters starting to get rather enthused about this display, but McNeil again. Well, if they win this game, I think he's entitled to be man of the match again, isn't he?
He's everywhere.
He and Ricky Stewart have had great games, and there's Stewart again involved in the tackling. The two halves.
It's amazing, David, if that incident involving Lazarus is the turning point. There's hardly been a foul piece of play in the whole match. Not a punch, hardly any niggle at all. And all of a sudden we see 2 eruptions and Lazarus off.
Over the top, this is Courier. Now Courier taking on Corkery. He's away from Corkery. He's got support on the inside. The little lob pass over the top. 2 basketball passes so far in this movement. Grant. It might have been the Kings and the Cannons for a moment. On the quarter line. Popji. Very shoddy defence. Popji takes on Kevin Walters, and he's equal to the task. Good tackle from Kevin Walters. Clark, blindside, it comes to Parrish. Now it's with McNeil. He cut, the ball's loose. It's the last tackle, remember. Courier. But the referee has ruled it must have been a knock-on.
I think he's ruled that the initial tackle was completed before the final pass got away.
Shouldn't that be a penalty then?
I suppose so.
He's ruled tackle and he hasn't handed it over or played the ball. One would think it should be a penalty. Anyway, I'm not going to argue about it. So Canberra, desperate to get it down the other end with just 8 minutes left in the match. Balmain led 16-2 at one stage. They got back to 16-12 and now it's 18-12 in favour of Balmain. Craig Diamond back on the paddock after 5 in the sin bin. The kick's a good one. O'Brien back on the inside. Jack's going to field it. Good football from Gary Jack. It comes away to O'Brien. O'Brien! Can he get another try? He can't. In the end, he's put across the touchline. Mark Bell it was who got wrong-footed by Gary Jack. He virtually got slipped over, but he did the good work there to put O'Brien across the touchline. Bellamy down injured.
O'Brien didn't touch on the first tackle. I think he thought that maybe he'd stay just inside the line, but the touch judge was right on the spot.
He certainly did. He got rolled over by Kinner when he came in with Bell to finish the tackle off. No risk that it finished across the touchline. David Brooks wounded. I think as Bellamy comes off, David Brooks wearing Guernsey number 12 in that tackle. And that's a pretty gutsy tackle because that left shoulder was left hanging there a second ago. 30 tackles so far. Mark Lowry is the player in Guernsey, 21. Kevin Walters chopped down in good defence by Brasher, who's now down injured. Last tackle against Balmain. The kick, a good left-footed kick from Daly, and he's going to find touch. Well, off the wrong foot, under pressure, and he's found touch 9 metres out.
Laurie Daly really does have a big future ahead of him. All the skills. May not have had as good a State of Origin series as he would have liked, but he's a very young man and he's going to be a great footballer.
This is a very important scrum, and Balmain have won it, and Podgy off the back of the scrum gains good metres.
He shouldn't have been allowed to skip away from that scrum like that.
Kevin Walters, one of the men of the match, who had a real hero's game except for the opening mistake, hobbling in back play. So I think a few of the Canberra supporters thought perhaps he was going to put the scrum down again. They all hung off Podgy, didn't they, a moment ago? The intercept. Now this is Canberra's chance. Daly, 33 metres out. Bell, Stewart, the long pass to Corkery. Diamond, Coyne. Just outside the quarter line. The ball's lost. It came off Courier's hand, but the referee's going to rule that he reefed the ball out of the tackle player's hand. Well, I thought he could have perhaps just seen how far Ferguson could have run.
I suspected that Coyne actually got the pass away, but does it get reefed out by Courier? Looks to be the case, yes.
Does Ferguson get tackled? Well, I suppose it's a good decision from the ref. Well, this is Balmain under siege. They lead 18-12. 5 minutes left in the match. It comes to Diamond outside the quarter line. Pushes McNeil out of the road, but at least he was there.
Seemed to be a lack of organisation in the move from the tap.
Daly from dummy half.
Daly trying very hard to turn this game.
Only 6 points the difference. Steve Walters 11 metres out. Away it comes to Kinner. Kinner spots an opening, and he's taken 11 metres out from Balmain's line. Daly the dummy half. Stewart almost in behind the defence. Bell. Lance. Corkery got his pass away on the ground. It went to Ferguson. Ferguson trying to slip through. Last tackle against the Canberra Raiders. The pass knocked down. Brasher almost made the intercept. So again, Balmain under pressure.
Bit of luck, but it could be just the result Canberra needed to get 6 more tackles. I don't think Daly was going to score. They had the defence there.
4 minutes to go in the match.
The ball thrown away by Balmain to eat up a few more seconds.
Now, they've got a chance out wide. If they can move it quickly, they can't. Brasher again is across there.
Desperate defence by Balmain.
Kevin Walters.
May have been impeded there by Brasher.
Stewart. Back to Coyne. It's 18-12. Canberra It's Balmain in front. Canberra on the attack. The little kick through. And back there, James Grant saves the day for Balmain. Forces the ball back into the infield, but it's a penalty. It's against Balmain for being up inside the 5.
In that case, Ricky Stewart has put the kick through into the in-goal without telling any of his chasers, and he's a pretty lucky man to have come up with the penalty because Balmain are inside the 5.
Well, I thought he put it in there. He put it in there because the Balmain defence had moved up.
Well, certainly, that's the reason, but it doesn't do any good if there's no chasers.
Diamond brings it ahead. 9 metres out from Balmain's line. Walters, Stewart. Here's Corkery. Back it comes to Daly. Daly, desperate Balmain defence. The ball goes loose. Balmain have got it. 6 to go, says the referee. Corkery must have got the ball back.
I thought the Balmain player may have been pulled away from the ball too.
Steve Walters. The ball's gone loose again. Now Balmain have got it. Well, they've soaked up all that pressure, and they should get the Winfield Cup point from there by just playing one-out football.
Well, you've got to give credit to the Balmain defence, not just for holding out in this passage of play. Here's the final incident. Was that knocked down by a Balmain hand? It was off a Balmain hand, so in the end the Tigers have come up with a ball when really it should have been 6 more to Canberra.
Bit of luck going Balmain's way, and perhaps even then when Steve Walters was pulled off the ball, he might have been a bit stiff not getting a penalty. Steve O'Brien up over the halfway. O'Brien coming down the bell. He's already scored 1 try. He can't get away, but he's got it to McNeil. But great ball in all defence from the winger from the far side, Johnny Ferguson.
Calling for the ball on the far side.
If they move it quickly, they should score. Brooks, the spiral pass. It's Parrish. On it comes to Courier. Courier stands, delivers the pass. Back it comes to Parrish. Great defence from Coyne. What a great tackle that was from Ferguson in that passage. Last tackle against the Tigers. McNeil puts the grubber kick in. Here comes Grant. And Kinner knocks the ball across the dead ball line. Only a minute left in the match. And the pressure right on Canberra now. I don't think they can win it from here.
Well, this is a near thing as McNeil puts the kick through. Chasing back is Kinner with James Grant right at his heel. And that ball almost kicking right at both of them. You really have to give credit to the Balmain defence right throughout this game. It's kept the Raiders quiet. On the other hand, I think the Raiders blew it when they had all those tackles. They didn't organise. They kept panicking. They kept trying to throw the ball around. They didn't think, well, we've got 6 tackles. Let's organise. Let's set the play. They kept throwing it willy-nilly. They just didn't put it together.
Only seconds left in the match. They've got to go 75 metres here, the Raiders, if they're going to snatch a draw. It's 18-12 in favour of Balmain. Seconds remaining. They led 16-2. It's been a great fight back, but perhaps the turning point of the match was when Diamond got 5 in the sin bin, and moments later Lazarus was sent off for a head-high tackle.
And no doubt that all those missed tackles by Canberra in the first half, they were down by 16 points to 4 at half-time, and that was what cost them the match. Great
take from Tim Brasher. The Swans will sign him up if they don't watch out with that take. Podgy making good ground. And there's the siren. The Tigers have moved to equal 4th on the Winfield Cup competition table. Equal with their adversaries today, winning the match by 18 points to 12. Yes, certainly, Saturday's Super League at its best, and what a puzzle the top 3 and the top 5 is now. Look at that group of teams, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. It really is going to be a great run into the end of the minor premiership. Balmain winning the match by 18 points to 12. For Balmain, Michael Neal, Andy Courier and Steve O'Brien, all those tries in the first half. And Andy Courier, what a valuable acquisition he's been to Balmain, 3 goals. While for Canberra, Kevin Walters scored that brilliant try and Daly kicked 4 goals. Well, next weekend on ABC television, you'll see the Canberra Raiders in action again when they're at home to the Cronulla Sharks.